inflation, right? Well, maybe members of the Federal Reserve don't shop for their own groceries because we don't need to tell you that your bills are going up. And it's all part of a bigger economic story. Jeff Cox is here. He wrote an article about this today and saying, listen, the food inflation story is A, getting worse, and B, tells the tale. But what tale does it tell?
Good news, bad news. Good news is gas prices have gone down about 5% over the past month. The bad news is food prices are going up, up, up. Now, the government tracks about 76 different items on the BLS website. About 45 of those items have gone up in price just over the past month, 66% over the past year. Let me hit a couple highlights here. Grapes, 1 month, grapes 30% up. Cabbage up 17% in 1 month. Over the past year, coffee's up 40% over the past year. The only good news here is that you can drown your sorrows in a bottle of wine. It's down 24% over the past month.
Even though grapes are up.
Is there any particular common factor or denominator here that is pushing prices up, apart from, you know, the usual weak dollar and printing money,
I mean, you could just draw a straight line from the commodities prices, the way that they have just gone parabolic. You have all this cheap dollars. You also have rising demand around the globe, so that's helping. Another big factor, though, is weather. The weather, the problems, the tornadoes, everything has wreaked havoc on this year's supply. It's kind of too late at this point. You're going to have that continued price. One other piece of bad news here, bacon is up 23.5%. Somebody once told me that the 3 sexiest words in the English language are wrapped in bacon, but it's not going to be that way.
Well, if we can't afford to eat, we can always drown our sorrows in wine, right?
Yeah, it's a really rough trend.
It is really rough trend.
And you know what stinks about the whole story, too, is that 2% payroll tax cut we got wiped out by higher gas and food prices. That's why it's not helping the consumer economy.
It's a tax.
It is indeed. Thank you so much, Jeff, as always.
Nowhere are rising costs hitting Americans harder than at the gas pump and the grocery store, places we spend 25 cents of every dollar we earn.
It really is a very significant drag on our economy at a very difficult time.
Over the last year, the cost to fuel our cars has jumped more than 33%, but it's the 3.1% rise in food and drink costs that's hurting consumers the most. That's because, on average, Americans spend 3 times as much for food as they do for gas.
For 30 years, eFoods Global has been perfecting the process by which we make our food reserves. We start by using only the finest sun-ripened and fresh produce grown and harvested following the Good Agricultural Practices guidelines. Not only are our ingredients GAP certified, but we carefully test them for chemical and microbial contaminants like Salmonella and E. coli before the approved ingredients are blended into our exclusive recipes following strict quality control standards established and audited by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. These ingredients contain no trans fats, no hydrogenated oils, and no MSG. At eFoods Global, we do not freeze dry our food because the freeze drying process removes moisture and infuses chemicals into the food to prolong the shelf life. All of our ingredients are dehydrated only using low heat, and no chemical preservatives are ever added. Our dehydration process naturally preserves the food so that upwards of 92% of the nutritional value remains intact. These quality ingredients are then packaged in moisture-resistant, light-resistant, proprietary assurance packaging that is flushed with carbon dioxide to prevent oxidation and guarantee longer shelf life and quality before sealing the package. Finally, we date stamp the outside of the package the day we prepare the food reserves, so you know you're getting fresh food reserves. eFoods Global Reserves, when properly stored, maintain their flavor and quality for up to 25 years. Now, I know what you're thinking. These can't possibly be the reserves. But these delicious meals are exactly what you get when you prepare your eFoods Global meals. And none of these meals require more than a pot of boiling water, the contents of a package, and 10 to 20 minutes. Pretty soon, you are going to select some of these delicious meals to try for yourself for free. That's a great opportunity. Let's talk about some other opportunities eFoods Global has to offer you.